Guys, today we got Yeezy dropping a whole new footwear collection. Nike finally caught those people that were stealing from them, and Cool Kicks is involved. And Travis Scott has more sneakers on the way, and he is finally moving on from the Jordan 1s. Welcome to Sneaky Sunday, and welcome to the warm streets of Tokyo, and humid streets, and hot streets. I'm on the way to the gym, so we got a little bit of time to talk about some of these latest stories. As you guys know, the Asia tour is in full swing. If you haven't been following along, you know we're doing Korea, China, and Japan. You guys just left Korea, so China's next, and it is pretty insane. So I mean, I cannot wait for you guys to see what happened in China. Get subscribed because there's some banger videos coming out, and I'll put the link to the playlist if you need to catch up. But a lot has happened. I missed 2 episodes of Sneaky Sunday because this trip has just been so chaotic with so much going on. Got a lot to catch up on. Firstly, let's talk about Yeezy because there is multiple things going on that I think is pretty mind-blowing. First one, JD Sports has just become the exclusive retail partner of Yeezy. And I'm not talking, obviously, the Adidas Yeezy. I'm talking about the new independent Yeezy. So it's just been confirmed that JD Sports is going to be releasing the YZY, the Yeezy slides, in a plethora of different colorways for $44. Can you hear these wild-ass bugs that are in these trees? But why this is so groundbreaking is, well, obviously because after Kanye West went on his whole anti-Semitic tirade, every brand dropped him. You know, the Adidas deal that was worth billions, gone. Balenciaga collaboration, the 10-year Gap deal, all gone. Nobody wanted to have anything to do with him. But now JD Sports figures that there's been enough time that's passed, and let's stock these Yeezy slides. So does this mean that Yeezy is officially back? Well, you guys let me know down in the comment section, but obviously if they're dropping these slides, I assume they'll drop more in the future, including some other stuff that's on Yeezy.com. Remember, he's got clothing, he's got a bunch of other footwear, even the new YS02 slides. So potentially we'll see a lot more in the future. But for right now, the YS01, the Yeezy slides, they're gonna be dropping August the 13th, again for $44. But sticking with Yeezy, Ye posted on his Instagram showcasing what's next for Yeezy brand in terms of footwear. So I think we've got like 3 different models, potentially 4. First one is a retro runner silhouette, which I'm looking at on my phone, and it kind of looks like Yeezy a little bit late to this retro runner trend, but it looks okay. It kind of looks like, I don't know, maybe a little bit of an Asics with the Adidas Orchetro. Remember that silhouette? That's what it kind of looks like, and I imagine it's going to be pretty affordable, probably around that $60 to $80 range. I could be wrong, but if it follows that same trend of everything being super affordable on the Yeezy.com website, they could be pretty comfy. And we know that Yeezy and Kanye likes to prioritize comfort in his shoes. Next, you've got some pretty massive, what looks like leather boots, but if they follow the same pricing trend, they probably won't be leather, but they look like it. Some big leather boots. Can we make it across the road? Oh shit, it's red. It's red. It is red. And finally, a pair of military style, combat style boot in tan. This looks very, very Yeezy. It almost looks like something that he did release either through Yeezy Season or through Yeezy and Adidas. This time, maybe they're a little bit taller. Few extra lace loops, there's quite a few on there. And none of these 3 shoes kind of look like the cheap stuff that he's been putting out on Yeezy.com. So I think it'll be very interesting to see what the price point is. But I guess it's just fascinating to see Yeezy coming back like this and so hard, so quickly. But let me know, what do you guys think? Did you buy any of these things? Do you think Yeezy is back? What do you think about Yeezy slides being in JD Sports? I think it's insane. It absolutely blew my mind when I heard that story, but either way, let's keep it moving. Oh, we're cutting another road crossing. Can we make it? Come on. All right, I'm almost at the gym now, so final one we're gonna quickly talk about, and it has to be the triple white jellyfish that dropped yesterday. I tried to get him out here in Tokyo, but I put in a lot of work. Turns out I didn't need it because damn near everybody got this white colorway of the jellyfish. It's the first like high stock pair that they've done, and honestly, it's very interesting to see people's opinions now, because as soon as they put the stock up, now you start hearing opinions like, oh, this is the worst colorway of the jellyfish, and this and that. Oh, okay, we are at the gym. I'm gonna go hit legs, so pray for me because it's gonna be a brutal one. All right, brutal leg session, but the sun is out. It's looking like it's gonna be, oh man, it's gonna be a hell of a scorcher today. Either way, as I was saying, Jellyfish release. I think it's really good that they're making more pairs. I think this is one of the better colorways, more wearable. I got a W look. I'm super happy. I know people are gonna be drawn towards the more like limited and hype ones, but I don't know. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you managed to grab a pair. Right, a couple new releases which I think are pretty cool. First of all, JA Morant's affordable $90 basketball shoe. It seems like a little bit of a trend now. Like Adidas did the AE, Believe That sneaker. Well, JA Morant is getting his, and you know what? At first looks, I was like, that looks pretty decent, but it looks almost exactly the same as like a lot of Nike basketball shoes right now. I think the one thing that was like pretty cool about the JA 3 and even the 4 that's coming out is how like unique and different it looked. But either way, it's not a bad silhouette. It's got like a Nike swoosh design on the top, which I think is pretty cool. And for 90 bucks, if it's good, W. Adidas has got a couple cool new silhouettes in the works. First one is a Hellstar collaboration on the Megaride, more specifically the Megaride S2, and it's got like these flames on the side. And I actually think that a lot of Hellstar's collaborations are looking really sick. Like, I just love the designs of some of them. No official release date on these, but I think it's gonna be like a fall release, even though I think these will go way harder in the summertime. This one feels like a lifetime ago, but obviously I've missed a couple episodes. Ishowspeed did a World Cup final performance, which is insane in and of itself, but he was wearing a new sneaker model, and I think everybody's kind of just guessing on what exactly it is. I've seen a lot of people kind of say that it's a new Adidas silhouette and it might be like some kind of collaboration, but it looks very much like the foam runners. I think it might be just a Ishowspeed silhouette, like his own thing, because he wears the foam runners all the time, but since they don't make any new ones of those, it would kind of make sense if he made his own model. But I don't know, it could be a new Adidas foam runner. We know that they've been trying to cook up a new foam runner, but none of them really took off except for obviously the Yeezy ones. Either way, if we get any more information on that, I'll let you guys know. Adidas also has a new Pokemon collaboration coming up, and we're about to enter into bug territory. It's in these damn trees, so if it gets a little bit noisy, you know why. Either way, we've got an Adistar looking sneaker, but I believe the paneling is a little bit different. These things look really cool, but it's a whole pack. Obviously it includes Pikachu, Charizard, and Gengar, and yeah, this one, Pikachu, not my favorite. And then these ones, not my favorite either, but there you go, Pokemon collaboration. These are gonna be dropping fall holiday 2026. Let me know if you would cop the Pokemon sneakers. Nike and Hyperrice are back together, releasing what could be a bit of a gimmick. I think the general consensus on those like hyper boots, you know, the massaging ones, is that they were a little bit of a gimmick, also extremely expensive. Well, they're now making a pair of massaging slides. They're called the Air Zoom Hyper Slides, and they've got like a heating mechanism to warm your feet up, a massaging mechanism. They've also got Air Zoom cushioning. Honestly, they look sick. They look insanely cool, but $250, no matter what you put in a pair of slides, is always going to be insanely expensive. So the way that these things work is a magnetically connected Hyperslide pod is housed within the adjustable strap and provides targeted Hyperice heat and vibration massage across the top of the foot. A bunch of cool little technology things that they're putting in there. Obviously, they're going to target this for recovery for athletes, but they also do say it's literally for anybody trying to manage travel, work, or everyday movement. Because I think that's the one thing, is like a lot of these weird products do get, like the Nike Mind Shoe, they do get like mass appeal and they get all hyped up. So Nike knows that and they're like, oh, if we just say it's for athletes, you know, we want to make some money. But yeah, generally speaking, this I don't think is going to be transformative in terms of something people actually need. Will it be hyped up? 100%. Either way, it's going to be dropping September the 29th. Let me know if you dropped $250 on a pair of slides. I mean, people were paying $250 for a pair of Yeezy slides back in the day, or even now they're kind of going for that price, and that's just a slab of foam. Now we got yet another colorway of the Adidas Jellyfish dropping very soon. These ones may be nicknamed the Cappuccinos or something, but they're actually really nice. It's almost like a tannish brown color with a slight hue of like a light blue color. $300, obviously. They should be dropping pretty soon. I would probably say more towards maybe the fall time, but there is official images, so it could literally be within the next month, couple weeks, we'll see. Damn, ain't none like a peaceful Tokyo little street, little back alley, bunch of little stores. This is a cool cool place. We just got first looks at a new Travis Scott sneaker. This time it's a pair of Air Forces, so you know, it's something different because it's not a Jordan 1, but it's not something we've never seen before. You know, he's done plenty of Air Forces in his time. These do look pretty cool. I like the color. They're not insane like some of his previous, like his second crazy Air Force. These do seem pretty wearable. Ostrich leather, because why not? You know, just to make it a little bit more interesting than just a plain color. We are back home. Home sweet home for the week. Let me get in that AC, goddammit. Oh. Boy, the AC. Man, it's so hot out there. You don't even understand. All right, let's lock in for this one. So from what it looks like, there's multiple different Travis Scott sneakers dropping. So it's the lows, the 07, the Air Force One Low 07, ice blue they're calling it. But in a lot of the pictures that we've seen of Travis Scott wearing them, they're actually mids, like mids with the strap. So potentially there's two different versions. Maybe one's a friends and family, but it's supposed to be dropping this fall for $170. And then there's also a Zoom Vapor 12 HC Pale Ivory, which the only photo that we have of it was shared by Travis Scott on his story, and it's like this tiny shoe underneath his ginormous Mac monitor. So it's kind of hard to know exactly like, what is this, a training shoe, a running shoe? These are all going to be dropping this fall, so just know Travis Scott is coming out with more sneakers, and they're different. They're not just the Jordan 1. Let me know if you like Travis Scott going on these random tangents with different sneakers. Like he did the football boots, the indoor ones for the World Cup. Now he's doing, I don't know, training or running shoes. It's a little bit crazy. Right, this next one is absolutely wild. One of the biggest stories of the entire year. But we finally have an answer to all of the craziness that's been going on at Nike for the past few years. So, you remember when the police raided Cool Kicks, the sneaker resale store? You remember when Nike was getting robbed multiple times from their warehouses, their cargo trains? Well, turns out all of this is connected. Allegedly. News just broke about a week ago that 12 individuals are indicted in a $2 million Nike cargo theft scheme. It's all a scheme. And I think one of the biggest takeaways is resellers being just like extremely desperate, and Nike's going to have some major trust issues after this. It's almost like they need to overhaul their employment. So this story centers around Nike's biggest warehouse, which is located in Memphis. Pretty much every sneaker across the US goes through this facility. And prosecutors are saying that resellers teamed up with a crew inside of Nike to pull off this scheme, which of course resulted in over $2 million worth of sneakers being stolen over the span of about 3 years, from 2021 to 2024. Again, 12 people are being indicted, including 6 former Nike employees and a co-owner of Cool Kicks. So here's how it actually works. Step 1, you pick the shoes. So a crew on the outside, probably the resellers, picked what kind of sneakers they wanted. You know, obviously you don't want just random Nike shoes that are going to sit on shelves. You want the high demand ones, the ones that you know you're going to be able to sell through the resale markets. Step 2 is printing the UPS labels. So they made real UPS shipping labels with their own addresses on them. The interesting part is that investigators are saying that the UPS account used to slap these labels on the boxes were with equipment tied to Cool Kicks to print them. Step 3, you get these labels to the Nike employees on the inside, and then a Nike floor manager in the Memphis facility allegedly carried those labels into the building and handed them out to the warehouse staff, which I assume a lot of the warehouse staff didn't really know, or they didn't really pay attention. You're not like scanning every single label with your eyes being like, where is this one going? So of course then the staff put the labels on the exact boxes that these resellers wanted, and then of course UPS does the rest. They take these boxes and they ship them out. And obviously this just looks like a normal, you know, shipment box. There's nothing different about it. It's just a slight little address change to funnel all of these sneakers out of Nike, away from where they were supposed to go and into the hands of these resellers. The numbers are pretty crazy. So the next step is obviously just sell them. Once they get these stolen sneakers, then they just sell them through different channels. And I think for the most part, it was like through online resale platforms. So allegedly the resellers paid around $900,000 for the product, which was actually worth $2 million, or over $2 million. They were then sold through listings on StockX, StockX and GOAT. And I remember that weird time where there was a lot of these thefts going on at Nike and Jordan Brand, and they were actually like, I think StockX pulled a few different releases. Can't remember exactly. There was like maybe Cherry 11s and some Jordan 4s that were releasing at the time, maybe the Midnight 4s or something like that, but they were pulling them off of the platforms because they were like, whoa, these stories are coming out that all of these shoes are stolen. We need to protect ourselves. Either way, allegedly they did this 3,119 times between, again, 2021 and 2024. They ran this method and were just making bank. Now, the craziest part has to be how this whole scheme got discovered or fell apart. And it was basically in 2024, a snowstorm shut down the Memphis facility. So it halted all of the deliveries of these products. And with all of these halted deliveries, that's when they started to get a little bit suspicious, and Nike actually planted tracking devices inside of the boxes. And then, yeah, essentially we found out about this whole crazy scheme. Now, Cool Kicks' involvement in all of this, obviously we know like one of the biggest stories that broke, which was that Adil Shams, who is kind of the face of Cool Kicks, he got arrested, and that was in 2025 for allegedly buying $500,000 of stolen Nike shoes and clothing. And I'm not entirely sure what the main update is with that story, but this one is the co-owner Barakat Abraham, who is named in this federal indictment. Now, Cool Kick says that Abraham denies the charges, points out that the indictment contains no allegations against the company itself, and has since cut ties with him. Man, I just think all of this is like so, the sneaker game is kind of dirty. From like backdooring to just literal crazy stuff like this. It's insane. It also pulls into question, like, you know, when you go to a lot of these resale stores where you see on platforms like StockX and GOAT, all of these like early sneakers. Now you're wondering, where did those early sneakers come from? How'd you get them? Crazy when you could be like, my plug is the UPS guy from like fraudulent labels. Now, this is obviously still a developing story and of course just an indictment, meaning it's only a formal accusation from the federal government against the 12 defendants. No evidence has been presented or made public. We'll have to see, you know, if this actually goes to trial and all of the different details. But either way, so far this is just insane, and it really just makes like the whole sneaker game seem like super dirty. But I don't know, it's going to be very interesting to see how this all goes. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. What do you think about all of this? A couple other releases which are pretty interesting. First of all, the Sean Weatherspoon Air Max 97-1 is returning, but in like a different color. So they're not actually just retroing the Sean Weatherspoon collaboration, but they're bringing that silhouette. You know, the 97-1, which actually hasn't released, you know, it debuted 10 years ago, and now they're bringing that silhouette back. It's just for the Dornbecker Freestyle collection for 2027. So we're not entirely sure if they're going to kind of retro this silhouette and actually make it a staple in Nike's lineup. Be pretty interesting. It seems like people really love that one, but either way, I don't think we're entirely sure exactly the colorway that it's going to be, or if it's going to have similar materials or something, because that was a very unique shoe to Sean Weatherspoon. But either way, it's going to join the lineup with a bunch of other models like the Jordan 11 Low IE, the ACG Rufus, the Air Force One Mid, the Structure Plus, and then one more unnamed model, which we're not entirely sure of right now. But again, this is a 2027 launch, so we'll, you know, as soon as we get any more information, more looks at the other sneakers as part of this, I'll let you guys know. We got some more details and a much better look at this upcoming Air Max, new Air Max model for 2026. This is called the Nike Air Max Metro. I remember speaking about it with you guys because it kind of looks like a Pegasus Premium, or at least it has a very similar midsole, but it's just slightly different. These things look like they're going to be super comfy, and I actually really like the design of them. Maybe a little bit Yeezy inspired with that toe box and just the general shape of them, you know, a little 700 vibe. But it looks like they're going to be very affordable, $130 for the adult pairs, and then I think the GS sizing $110. So if they're like super comfortable, I'm all in on these. I think they look great, especially in the right colorway. They're going to be dropping October the 1st this year, and I will definitely be checking them out. But let me know what you think of these down in the comments. So that pretty much wraps it up for this week's episode of Sneaky Sunday. I'm here in Tokyo. I'm gonna get ready for the day, hit the streets. Let me know what you guys want to see while I'm here. I got another 3 days left, so if there's anything you guys want me to check out or whatever, obviously we're on the Asia tour, so plenty of insane content coming. I cannot wait for you guys to see what happened in China. And of course here. It's been pretty awesome, and I can't wait for you guys to check it out. Subscribe to the channel to see all of that, and of course to stay updated with the latest news. And if you want to catch up on the Asia Tour 2.0, click that playlist in the top left-hand corner.